Hi, this is Jen. Welcome back to the Real Retail Recruiter. Today we're going to talk about a super fun topic. It's developing yourself. For sake of this video, pretend you are a store manager and you would like to take the next step. So this is my advice. One is make sure you know what next step you want to take and why. Is it because you are phenomenal at developing others? Is it that you can really move the needle when it comes to strategy and driving business? But thinking in terms of your career, you should always have one or two avenues that you would like to pursue. Um, and remember, it's retail and it's life. You don't have to pick one and get stuck in it. For example, when I was a store manager years ago, I had two areas that I wanted to go into. I was really interested in being a retail recruiter, and I was also really interested in being a district manager. And oddly enough, I got the opportunity to do both at the same time, and I had to pick. Did I want to be an acting recruiter for the company I was at and get some experience over holiday, helping support holiday hiring for the field? Or did I want to take an acting role as a DM? Ultimately, I chose being a DM, even though my career came full circle back to recruiting later. But being a DM, how I got there and how I got the opportunity, this is what you want to pay attention to is one, you need to clearly know where you want to go and why, and then have a conversation with your boss and your boss's boss to talk about your career and where you'd like to career path to. But it is not their job to develop you unless you ask for specifics. It is your job to develop yourself and then take them as a partner in the critical areas that you need their support. So, what I would recommend is to sit down with your boss and say, as somebody that knows me and has managed me for a while, if I were to ask you, what would I need to go after to from a skill set perspective, or what things would I need to consider strengthening in my arsenal of tools if that is the next step that I wanted to take? They are going to give you really good specifics. Ask them also, when you became a DM for the first time, what parts of the job surprised you or were you not prepared for? Because you want to see around corners too. And understand that as a store manager, the life of a store manager and the life of the DM is very, very different. As a store manager, you have control over all four walls. As a DM, you do not. You have to manage remotely. You have to inspire, motivate, trust, an entirely remote team, because even if you have a home store close to you, most retail DMs at this point are managing multiple states or even in some cases multiple brands. So you need to know clearly where you want to go and why. Ask your boss what they wish they had known, and then for feedback on a skill set. I would recommend doing the absolute same up the chain with your regional director. And then ask both of them also, do you have a mentor? Who was your best mentor? What did you learn from your mentors? And then don't ask either of them to be your mentor because their jobs are crazy busy. Um, is then go find someone that has the skill set in your network, or maybe in a different role in the company, or maybe at a previous company that could be your mentor. Then build out a plan. Build out a specific plan with steps you're going to take, at when, why, and who you're involving, and share that also up the chain. But, so if your boss and your boss's boss give you some feedback on emotional maturity or on dealing with conflict, then that gives you a roadmap of what you need to start strengthening. There's a ton of books that you can lean into. You can select your mentors based on those being their skills, or you can start raising your hand. Here's the thing. As a store manager in a store, you are not going to get enough experience to successfully walk in as a DM. So that's where you have to take some calculated risks. Raise your hand. Tell your DM, look, you said that I need to build my skill set with understanding the P&L. So I have set up time with two store managers in another district that I am really connected to that know a lot about how to explain the P&L and what behaviors go into it. Then after that, then you put together a plan and you raise your hand to your boss and say, I would like to teach this to the district. Or are there any store managers that are new in their career with us that could benefit from time with me on this? Also, you have towering strengths. Lean into them. Your boss knows what your towering strengths are. Ask if you are exceptionally strong at talent development, is there anyone in the district that needs a mentor that would benefit from time from me? Or is there anything, any task or regular action that you have to do that I could take off of your plate as a learning, or where I could maybe make an impact on the district? Understand that your DM at this stage, if they know that you want to grow your career and you're taking proactive steps and you are starting to level yourself up, they may ask you to take on assignments that don't necessarily match kind of what you love to do, right? Like I loved people development. My boss hated operational audits. So guess who got the opportunity to do all the operational audits in the district? I did. But here's the other thing to think about. Your stretch assignments should not always lean into your towering strength or things that you love to do. Because if you want to take the next step up the chain, you need to learn how to be proficient in all areas of the job, including the ones that you don't love. That was a lesson I had to learn as well, is that as a DM, you don't get to just go in and change floor sets and have fun and talk about development and selling on the sales floor. You also have to ensure processes are happening on time. Payroll is done on time. Schedules are written correctly. Laws are being followed when it comes to breaks and to when you can schedule minors or when you can't. So understand that your job is to holistically build out skill sets that maybe you already have, but you can play a bigger impact in the district, or skill sets that you are missing. And then take your boss and your RD as a partner all the way through the journey. I would recommend once every month having a 30-minute conversation with your boss about what you are proactively doing and ask for any feedback that they have. One is when people start to see that you're not relying on them to develop you, but that you're developing yourself and having a larger impact across the district, the region, maybe the zone, even the organization, they start to take you a little bit more seriously. And your name starts to get spoken about in rooms that you are not in from a positive perspective. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to spoon feed you. It is your job to set up this path and then take your boss as a partner. So I would love to hear in the comments what you've done to prepare yourself for next and how you grew your career from a store manager to a district manager. Because frankly, that's what a lot of store managers always say. Hey, I want to be a DM. What do I do? So if this helped you, or this is something that you think somebody you work with should see in here, please share. As always, I appreciate your subscribing, your liking, and your sharing. I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.